Josh McCuistion of Soonerscoop.com here with Oklahoma wide receiver commitment Zion Kearney. Zion, going through spring ball, what's that kind of been like? All the schools coming by. I mean, it's really year two for you kind of doing that, but is it just normal now? That's how it goes?
It's kind of normal. It's pretty much normal now.
I think the thing everybody's going to want to hear about is the commitment to Oklahoma, man. What went into that? I mean, what was it? I know when you went up there, you kind of knew what you were going to do and how that was all going to play out. So, was there a moment for you when you kind of said, okay, OU is what I want to do, sitting at home with your parents or something like that?
It was kind of actually the crazy part was when I first got the offer and I was talking to the coaches. I don't know what it was. I told my mom, I was like, it's something about OU that I really like.
Okay.
Without even talking to them for the first time. Like the first impression was just a great impression, and so I really loved it from the start. Really, so Coach Jones came into the picture, Coach Lebby, Coach V, all of them. They just great people.
That's something I hear a lot is guys talk about. It's not just one guy usually that recruits. The guys end up committed. It's really a group effort. What we'll talk about Coach Jones in a second, but Coach Lebby, I mean, what are your impressions of him? And his offense seems to fit you. Just sitting out here watching you at practice, man, you like to work vertical.
Yes, sir. Coach Lebby, he a pretty cool dude. He's really down to earth and he chill. You could talk to him pretty much about anything. He's not just like a coach, it seems like. And his offenses, I've been watching his offense pretty much every day. I've been going on YouTube, and he does like to throw the ball a lot, fast receivers, and that's what I am. So I just think I'll fit perfect in the offense.
With Coach Jones, I mean, you mentioned that him coming in. Was that just something? I mean, it doesn't sound like it changed the way you looked at Oklahoma. Did it just kind of add some, I guess, extra interest in them?
Yes, sir. Coach Jones I remember he was at Texas Tech when I first met him. He came over to OU. He would always tell me about, like, different receivers and stuff. I like the style, like how he teaches and stuff like that, and different receivers he put into the NFL. I watch their highlights, and I just like how they play. And that's like, I feel like there's similarities. He can be able to coach me to go on to the next level, be a great receiver, especially in college. So.
Okay. Now, as a receiver, you kind of have an interesting situation. Your class's quarterback's in, the next class's quarterback's in. And now, have you talked to Mike and Kevin a little bit? Do you know those guys?
I've talked to Mike. I talked to Mike a couple times. Pretty cool. And I haven't talked to Kevin.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him. I talked to Jackson too.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. With that kind of in mind, I mean, does that make it easier? Like, you can go watch those guys. You know what you're looking at, what kind of quarterbacks they are, and obviously, all coming from a lot of success. So, for you as a receiver, the Jackson thing's kind of interesting to me. What does that make it more appealing, knowing he's the 5-star guy? He's got all the attention. You got to see him play in the spring game. And now, were you there at the end? I feel like you told me you had to leave early or something.
Yeah, I had to leave early, but I most definitely watched it on YouTube.
Okay.
He
So
did his thing.
Yeah,
he did his thing.
Okay.
He's a nice quarterback. He's big too. He's bigger than I thought he was.
Okay.
But yeah, it plays a factor knowing you have a quarterback coming in also into the same school and getting in touch with them, because that's the person who's gonna be giving me the ball. So
now
we have a connection.
Now I know and I'll let you get out of here. We're gonna get Zion to lunch here, man. He's got no practice. Got to let him eat something. But I think amongst OU fans, you might have the favorite commitment video that's happened in a while. That was really cool. It was nicely done, man. What went into that? I know, you and I talked about it. You had to ask Coach Venables, make sure it was going to be okay because you recorded some of that.
Yes, sir.
What, I guess, how long was that kind of plan in the making? How did you work all that out?
That was all, shout out Baller Tribe. That was all Baller Tribe, BT. That was all him. He did most of that, and we just talked to him about it, asking can we make a video and stuff like that.
Sure.
They said yeah, and he put the rest into the plan. So
that was very cool, man. It was just an insight that a lot of people don't usually get to see.
Yeah.
So now I guess, and just kind of as a final question, I mean, obviously you chose Oklahoma. You seem pretty solid. I don't, and I know they explained it all to you. How they kind of want you to handle your commitment, but who were the other schools that really you were thinking about toward the end? I mean, what were the schools that, I guess Oklahoma had to beat out?
It was pretty much the schools in my top 6.
Okay.
LSU, U of H, and Arkansas. And Nebraska too.
Okay.
Those were pretty much like the main contenders, but it was kind of, I narrowed it down.
You had a pretty good idea all
Yeah, I
along.
had a pretty good idea. So.
Okay. And I guess just as a final question, what is it about Coach Jones that you really, that guys just seem to really like him? And is there one thing that really sticks out? I don't, could it be honesty, just directness, whatever it might be?
One thing that does, I can't really say something sticks out.
Sure.
But he's like, you could talk to, like, when you can be a friend, not a friend, but it's not just player and coach.
Yeah.
That's what I mean to say.
Yeah.
It's not just player and coach. I can talk to him about different things. He talks to me like a regular person. Like, it's not just, hey, how you doing, athlete? And it's like, he also, I like how when he been in high school to college. He did that. So he done worked his way up. And so I know he knows what he's teaching me, telling me. I know he knows what he's talking about. And that's my guy.
Well, again, this has been Josh McCuistion of Soonerscoop.com here with Zion Kearney.